So, if you guys haven't been listening to my Marvel Plus podcast, it's a podcast where I cover in depth the Disney Plus Marvel series episode by episode. And it's a lot of fun. I have great guests on every week. So, if you're not listening, I don't know what you're doing. Go check it out. I have a feeling if you're watching or listening to this, you'd probably enjoy it. Anyway, in this most recent series, the Hawkeye series, which may be my favorite of all the Disney Plus Marvel series thus far. I mean, so far, it's just a phenomenal show. Highly recommend it. But anyway, in this show, there are a lot of hints and allusion to the possibility of introducing Kingpin into the series through a character named Echo. And I've talked about it quite a bit on the show, and it's made me want to go back and revisit the greatest. Well, I don't know if it's the greatest, but if it's not in the top spot, I don't know what is. But at least one of, if not arguably, the greatest ever comic book to film adaptations, and that is the Netflix Daredevil series. So I decided to go back and rewatch this series. I think this is my third, maybe fourth time going through this series. That's how good it is. And every time I watch it, it's like, yep, still a fucking masterpiece. But, okay, so I'm a few episodes from finishing the first season, and I am just in awe of this thing. And there's been a lot of talk of bringing some of these characters back. You know, Charlie Cox as Daredevil and Vincent D'Onofrio returning to the iconic version of Wilson Fisk. And man, I would love to see it. I would love to see these two in the MCU. I even saw some news today that Charlie Cox was confirmed as being part of future MCU projects. And man, I hope that's true. But I have to say, even if that happens, I'm still not sure they will ever recapture the true majesty that is this 3-season run of Daredevil on Netflix. Holy shit. It's so damn good. If you have not watched it, my God, you are seriously missing out. Whether you're, a comic book fan or not, you'll appreciate it. But if you are a comic book fan, watching this thing is like watching Frank Miller's Daredevil brought to life. And most comic book heads know this, but others may not. But Frank Miller, much like he redefined the character of Batman for years to come, also kind of redefined Daredevil and portrayed the character in a way that really resonated with readers. It shot it from like a, not very popular comic to like top 3 comic for quite a few years when he was writing. And most of this Netflix series reflects Frank Miller's vision of the character. Most especially the 3rd season, which is like, it's basically the Born Again storyline played out on screen. And it is amazing. Amazing. There's no other word for it. It's like some of these other Netflix series were, I don't know, good, Some were all right, some were not the best, but not just among the Netflix series, but among all things comics in motion. Daredevil stands alone. So fucking brilliant. Everything. The acting, the fight choreography, the action sequences, the darkness, the realism, the grittiness. And maybe my favorite thing, like, it's how seriously the creators took the material. Don't get me wrong, there's some levity. I mean, it's realistic, right? It's human. There's definitely going to be some humor in there because That's real life. But at no point does it ever seem like they're poking fun at or making light of or not taking it seriously or doing anything but treating this like serious storytelling. It feels real. Yes, Matt Murdock has supernaturally heightened senses, but the way they tell these stories in the Netflix series, it makes it feel like the real world. It makes it feel like these are real people and this could actually happen. From the iconic one take hallway fight scene to the incredible portrayal of Wilson Fisk. This might not be everyone's version of Wilson Fisk, but goddamn, this is my version of Wilson Fisk. Vincent D'Onofrio is Wilson Fisk for me. But from that to the very dark, moving crisis of faith in season 3, this series has everything. It has it all. And I'd be hard pressed to put any other comic book based media above it. Anyway, I'd love to hear what you guys think. What's better than these 3 seasons of Daredevil? Honestly, because I'm stumped. I know. I love the whole genre, right? I love all these comic book films, series, everything. But it's really hard for me to put anything above this. Maybe even with it. But I don't know what's actually better, honestly better than this series. You tell me. Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to go back and forth with you. I'd love to discuss anything you want to discuss about this. Leave a comment. I will respond. Let me know your favorite parts of the series. Let me know whether or not you agree with me. Let's have a discussion. And if you like videos like this or podcasts like this, here's what I do on this channel. I mostly talk about entertainment and pop culture. I do movie and book reviews. I share my opinions. And every once in a while, I tell stories from my wild and questionable youth. And I try to do this daily. So if that's something you're into, getting something new and interesting in your feed every day, then please subscribe to the channel or favorite or follow the podcast. And if you decide to do that, if you decide to stick around, then I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Thanks.